Oh, I already have a full-time business. Plus, I'm raising a small child, so I do not
It's like,
have a
Right.
lot of spare time.
it's like I
But
just dropped out of school. I have nothing but spare time.
Dante, would you submit yourself to an interview that asks you questions about how great your act is so we can run a puff piece on your show?
Of course, I'm always free for free advertising.
Right, so we'll do that first. Very well then. It's settled. And Emmett, who has a hand for organization, can go ahead and set up the first issue. I need the rest of you to write articles and get weird photos.
That should be easy enough. I know Martin knows people he could distribute it to, too.
Get me pictures of
Like,
man-sized
weird photos
spiders.
I can do.
Excellent. I'll go ahead and spend part of this meeting setting that up, and then afterwards I need to get you guys away from Emmett because I don't want to involve Emmett in the felony I committed.
That's okay. I've got a whole bunch of planning to do. We're going to do a 6-page print. Here, I'm
Excellent.
going to go be in the back for a while. I hope you guys can be okay up front.
Well, with the party would say I have a very short amount of time I could stay here today, so if you've got something to share, you have to make it quick.
Well, I'll also give Emmett the phone number of the clipping service. Yeah, okay. I'm
Yeah.
going to pull out the JN bag. Okay, I've got this. This is what they dropped off at that doctor, what is his name? Emmett? Not Emmett.
Kent Knight.
Kent Knight, the alliterative guy. Yeah, this is the bag that the Zetas gave Kent Knight. This is let's open this up. This is everything that was in his safe. Except for the bottles of Vril. I didn't bring those to the meeting.
You know, if you open it
Right.
up and you
You
get
didn't take
covered in
those, though, right?
purple ink.
I'm sorry, what was that, Dante?
So I can't wait for you to open it up and get covered in purple ink when it explodes.
I opened the bag.
You open the bag, and inside is everything you stuffed into it.
Yep.
And if you guys start sorting through them, at the very top, or as you can see, is some observational research notes on a very particular experiment about several kids and an old woman being observed chased by a large tiger for experimental ritual purposes from a distance.
They had a tiger chase children around and then wrote about it?
You remember the Huntress?
Oh
The person
my
you
God.
just destroyed. These are the missing 30 to 40 years of research from when the previous writer ended, and all the other students started picking up and just making observations.
I mean, to be fair, you already knew about this, though. That's literally the life experience that I shared with you.
Well, but there's more papers than just that. You mean they just wrote it down for 30 years? Hey, woo! What did they do? Observe children scream and cry?
Not just that, actually. It also observes the apparent numerical statistics about this entity creature, this progenitor experiment, and indicates such things as observable mass, time on the surface, how far its environment has been spreading, and unsettling notes about how it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and how they might not be able to control it for much longer.
Great.
No, but wait, they can't control it for much longer, but that's 30 years ago.
30 years ago.
I think that the notes
God,
started 30 years ago and they go up to today.
Well, all right, let's push this horrifying thing aside and see what else is in here.
I guess I should go ahead and also mention that those notes also mention that they notice the kids in the witch that don't die show aspects of the strong force. They don't meet their untimely demise unlike the other victims.
Enamel.
And it also makes note that the goal should be to find those with the strong force and hunt them so that they can forever increase the power of their progenitor experiments.
What else is in here besides this horrifying stuff?
In it appears to be a ritual labeled resurrection.
There we go. This will solve a lot of our problems.
Wait, don't we already have one?
No,
Because we have
I
the one
don't
that
think you do.
you remember the one that flips
No.
the building upside down is also supposed to resurrect
It's a
something.
burial for someone who's dead.
Yeah, but it brings them back.
It's not meant to resurrect anyone.
Yeah, no, remember it's supposed to because the worm guy was that thing.
No, I think this is the missing component. I think you're supposed to do one and then the other.
Oh.
That would be a very
Let's see.
disappointing ceremony with you. And behold, and then you untomb them with that one spell. Come on, get up! You're embarrassing me in front of everyone.
So I'm gonna go
Or
ahead and
the
mark this
other way,
down.
like, help, help, I'm stuck in this car.
Well, to be
Going
fair,
to,
I don't perform
add
actual
note.
magic in my stage show.
Edit. I'm gonna just make a note of resurrection, and I'm gonna go ahead and label it 10th circle. There we go.
It's a mere 10th circle.
A mere
for Faith
10.
is dead.
Hey, I'm almost there. I can almost do that.
This can't be good.
You gotta keep me alive so I can resurrect you guys when you die.
Right. So I'm gonna go ahead and just attach this here. It's in the JN spellbook right now, just for reference. And ask me about it later for the specifics,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of steps to it.
Literally, that's the
more
only
important-
text I have. Resurrection to a circle.
more important,
Asking for
though.
information.
Yep. Is the stuff leading up to it, where it describes that the author has received notes from their greatest source and their trusted advisor, and that after they have completed this ritual, they will block off the tunnels and scare away the rest of the cult so that only he may have access to it.
Criminy. What else is in here?
By the way,
Let me see.
just throwing out there that if they have a copy of this anywhere, then anybody that we've killed in the past is no longer dead.
In this is clear evidence of the Zeta cult's plan, and it appears to be, of course, to create more of these progenitor creatures to help them thrive by setting up these hunts and increasing their power and allowing them to transform the environment, wrapping up entire areas in dark webs and taking away the sun itself.
Literally?
Creating,
Yep.
quote, a permanent unbound paradise that I may enjoy forever.
Cool, can you go on
Okay,
the spider?
now this might shock you, but apparently there was a vampire and he was planning to put out the sun.
Yeah.
Well, it's agreed. Everyone at the Zeta people needs to be punched.
Continuing on, of course, let me go ahead and read. There's also notes on a possible, quote, underground temple somewhere underneath Trikoga. Where exactly, the author doesn't know, just that somewhere in this direction, at roughly this distance from Willow Spring, ought to be some kind of temple. But wherever it is, it must be hidden in numerous underground caverns and other connective tissue.
Obviously,
The
it's
temple
underneath the
itself
old
is-
subway.
The temple itself is, quote, holding energies found in the prime of my benefactor's organization, of great interest and concern to them that it one day be put to use for their goals.
Okay, this is what Kent was talking about, the hidden temple. This is something that if we don't find it, one of these weirdos like Osborne, Sikovic, or the Zetas is going to.
I'll look at
There
the
are,
under.
along with these notes are also speculative notes and maps and diagrams of strange alien equipment and factories of some kind. That's all you can really compare it to. And of course, the language it's written in is also completely inscrutable.
This could take us
However,
weeks
the
to
notes,
decipher.
however, the notes indicate what it assumes the author thinks that this energy could possibly accomplish, and that these assumptions lead them to believe it might have something to do with the flow of the strong force. So clearly, it must be of unimaginable power.
Clearly.
But that seems to be about all it's put together.
Well, I'm glad I stole these from the doctor before he probably doesn't have any duplicates. So yeah, so basically we should find this place of the strong force, and also, yeah, so basically this horrible black mass or whatever it is underneath the park, they've been feeding it for like decades until it grew out of their control, so we gotta blow it up.
I mean, that was the plan
Great.
from the start.
I'm sorry, did you have a question? I missed that.
No. It just I just like great and I put Fate's plant on the.
Well, it's what we do. I'm thinking that if we go through with our combined skills, we could go through these notes and find if they have notes on what makes the creature grow and what feeds the hunter. We could possibly find a weakness if we review these notes. We also could possibly find the location of this hidden, or verify the existence, or disprove the location of this strange temple. We're all skilled people with resources and knowledge that would help us do this. And we could also reach out to other people. This could be our life's work. This could finally undo the evil of Willow Springs, perhaps even the evil that infests the city of Drykoga.
And and James says there's about to be, or that 6 page or be my. All right, I'll get research.
And it's agreed. All right, and as a cover to all of this, I will found the magazine, which will also print articles, but this will also allow us to reach out to people in the community.
Wonderful. So, I think from all this, I'm going to ask, what do you guys think your goals are here? It definitely sounds like find the hidden temple, for sure, is one of them.
Punch evil.
Raise child.
Find
Compromise.
find location of temple.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
we
this
might
is
want to
the
find the location of the
that I'm
temple, but I because we already have the goal to get rid of the Willow Springs creature.
Right. So finding the temple is 100% different than fighting the Willow Springs creature.
We could put both of those down and start work on both of them. We have a lot of boring library time ahead of us.
We all do. I have to go to work.
Well, but Dante, I also assume you have a personal stake in all of this.
I very much do, but at the same time, there's a life.
Go back to your working. Just check in, and we'll let you know.
Right, I have many things that must be accomplished. At the same time, this is very important to me. But at the same time, if I give up everything to do this, there's nothing to turn back to.
It's understandable. That's why I'm a rich crime fighter. I'm willing to give up everything to do this.
All right. Was there an additional goal you guys also wanted to focus on?
Unfortunately,
that's enough.
So that pushes me to 3. 3 is the max.
Numbers are no longer an object to us, but
there's no express limit to the number of goals you can have in urban jungle. But we do say that once you get more than 3, you should start thinking about what it is you want to do.
Okay. Help Timothy pass his math test.
yeah, I'll go ahead and save right now. I'll probably give everyone a new personal goal at this point, rather than saving it for something. So that'll be
okay. I have a new personal goal in mind for Zach for a while. Zach wants to find the ritual that killed Jasper.
okay. That's fun.
Yeah.
Is there a ritual that killed Jasper? Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yes.
And my job is to make the magazine more than a front.
Yeah, make a real magazine.
All right. So I'll go ahead and table the rest of that discussion for a little later, and I'll ask, what are you guys going to do right now?
Head to Thruston's theater.
Yep, And Threston is waiting for you.
I gotta
Let's
start.
start research.
Yeah,
Let's
it's like,
start researching the location.
yeah, Zek will help with the research, I
Yep.
suppose.
Okay,
I
so
will
you
as
guys
well.
are going to focus on the location of this temple.
And I'm going to do the most exciting thing ever. I'm going to go form a limited liability corporation.
Wow. Well, you're rich. You have experience with this. Easy enough. So you'll spend your time doing that. And let's focus on the academic crew. And I'll ask who's leading the charge.
I sold back research, so somebody else should probably lead.
What?
the charge.
Okay,
Oh my
research.
God, I'm gonna go bang my head against the wall.
I wanted to increase my mind
I
flow
will.
dice.
I have research as well, so I can help.
It's like we
Well,
have
you did
two.
get smarter, so I approve.
It's
Well,
like
again, the question is who's leading the research.
It's like we have two other people with research. We'll be fine.
James.
All right, James, you're going to
I-
take the lead. We're going to have two people assisting you, so I'm going to go ahead and ask Edmund and Zechariah. Why don't you go ahead and assist? That's one assist from Zechariah.
Okay, let's see here. Mind and
And an assist from Edmund. Very good. So yes, it's going to be mind academics, and you can add in your research. And I'm going to give you a D8 assist bonus as well for the notes that you have here. And I'm going to give you, and of course, you have the two more assist dice here from Zechariah and Edmund. Are either of you two team players?
No, unfortunately.
No.
Okay, so they are only D8s.
okay, so 3d8 plus.
3d8s
let's.
plus your research d12 plus mind and academics.
Okay, now the 3d8.
Nice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looking through all these notes, you start to gather the information that it seems like that there are other small locations throughout Trikoga and in its underground that might indicate that there is some sort of hidden civilization older than the Native Americans that used to live here. And in fact, these artifacts may be spread out in such a way as to indicate that there must be a central hidden temple to it, or some sort of central urban center, maybe. Where precisely is still very difficult to pin down. However, it's assumed that all these locations must connect in some way to it. Otherwise, why would they be there? From all of this, you do gather what seems to be a reasonable idea of what the Trikoga Underground must look like, and a reasonable idea of where you can enter in to go downwards. And with your 5 successes here, you're reasonably confident that you've triangulated the position of where it could be. It's not just on an XY axis. There's also a depth to it, and taking that into account, you can assume it must be somewhere in the middle of all these, much deeper down.
Looks like we're going spelunking after all.
It would, in fact, be quite an expedition. The notes indicate that on a few of these trips, it actually took them a couple of days.
Wow.
Mostly
Old
because
school
caves
pulping.
are dangerous.
We need to hire an experienced caver for this.
Yeah, experience belongs.
Or-
most
We could send other people and not go ourselves. I'm rich.
but I will go ahead and say you do have 5 successes. You did go ahead and find your main objective here. Is there anything else you'd like to know from these notes?
Maybe something about the civilization from which this old civilization. do notes say anything about its culture? What the architecture was?
You start referencing these notes across the notes previously taken by John the Noble, and you start to get a sense of what this civilization must be. It seems like it's highly hierarchical, maybe even some sort of feudal society. Uh, and you get the impression there must be some sort of king or emperor to this sort of thing because there are a lot of lower level individuals mentioned in this, and it seems like it only goes up like a pyramid from here. Uh, do you have a more specific question or another question entirely?
Uh, do we know the triangulation of? Do we know where to start digging, or where to start?
If you just wanted to open a hole in the middle of the city, sure, yeah, if you have a few years.
We're gonna have to travel in the caves.
It's totally possible. You just have to get the city council's permission. You have to buy the property. You have to start digging. Got to get the equipment, pay the workers. I mean, you'll get there anytime in the 1940s, and nothing bad happens then.
There's got to be a quicker way to.
Uh, I'll give you a few more. What else might you want to know?
I can't think of anything else. Any suggestions?
Well, I mean, the story seems to check out. If it's a lost city, it shouldn't be, easy to find.
Here's one I can give at you. You notice that one of the points used to sort of triangulate this is actually really far out there, like a North Star. It's actually in the direction of Willow Springs. And it too seems to be some kind of small urban center or something.
I point that out. I like to look at the urban?
These things don't have a lot of notes on it, but you can presume from the notes from Gian previously that he's frequently talked to someone and he's closed off those tunnels. He must have been talking to them all along, and they must still be down there.
I think I know where the entrance is.
Wow. Those Zetas are going to feel like dummies have been searching for this for 50 years, and we found it in one day.
It's highly possible they didn't actually put enough work into it, or maybe they've only recently found some of these.
In fact, that's one thing I'm worried about. It might be that after they gave this information to Kent and he put all of this together and found it, that he will remember enough of these notes to go look for it.
Well, we just have to beat them there.
I'm all in favor of any plan that involves beating the Zetas.
Can that plan also involve beating them over the head with a desk?
I forget. I think baseball bat is one of the weapons on the list.
It is, I'm pretty sure.
It's easier to explain the police why you're all
actually
carrying baseball bats than it is to explain why you're all carrying Tommy guns.
self-defense at 300 rounds per second.
We're a softball league, sir.
All right. So I'm gonna ask, what sort of immediate plans do you guys want to do here?
I don't know. Claudia's always been the mastermind behind our action plans here, so
Well, it sounds to me like if you know where the city is, we should go there and invest. Well, I'm not sure we want to go. My primary goal will be destroying the creature under Willow Springs. But considering that the Zetas are probably looking for the city, and if you think you know where it is, where do you think it is?
I point to the location map.
You have
And
to
that's
pull out like
in the-
2 other maps and say like on this axis and then on also this axis.
So it's in the city?
Far underneath it.
Is it now? I know Dante threw this out as a joke, but is it where the subway system was built?
On your notes, you do see that. That's actually one of the suggested ways to get down there very easily without much trouble.
That's what I was trying to do.
Well, it sounds to me like what we should do is we should get an expedition, and since it's going to be in the subway, and we might run into resistance with the Zetas and out of the public, we should probably go in heavy.
It's like, well, that's why I got a rough outfit and a silver knife. Speaking
No,
of
I
which.
mean heavy.
Like, you need to eat a lot
yeah,
more. You need to be heavy.
No, I mean, let's go get some serious weapons. I like the
Like a
person in the chat who suggested you guys should just make a freaking sword.
it's like yeah, it's like maybe I should have just made a freaking sword.
I think the heaviest gun we have is the service revolver. I think a recurring problem is none of us are shootists.
Yeah, I mean, like I have what is it, speed and mind. It's like so I'd have a D6 and a D10, but
I actively
Right.
dislike
Yeah.
things.
Me
Well,
too.
yeah.
Well, I don't think we're bringing
Right.
Dante with us because
I'm gonna say like my analysis of the party is you have like 1 frontliner, 2 magical pieces of artillery, and then 2 reporters.
well, I don't discount us, but I mean, like I'm a little worried that if we go to the underground forbidden city of the ancients, that we might, run into I don't know, unfathomable horror. So, yeah, I think blessing a couple weapons and going down there. Although Dante, you still have an entourage, right?
Yeah, but I can't use them right now.
Oh,
You
Well-
refresh them.
No, I mean, I have plans for them. I can't use them for your thing right now.
oh, because I was going to suggest that you could get some thugs or some hired, at least experienced subway people or explorers or whatever, and get them to come in with us.
No, I understand, but I have plans for that. I just have to get done with my meeting with Reston. I have to finish picking up Timothy from school. I have to get through all these things before I can then start on my other things. I would have done them this morning, but you had called me to this meeting at the library.
Well, we're not going to do this today. Why don't you get some people, and when you get some people, that's when we'll go.
Again, I have to go through my own steps first.
How many steps are there?
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 steps.
Well, we should probably make our preparations. Have you guys got your weapons blessed?
Zach still needs to get his knife blessed. but-
Right. Why don't we go ahead and do that, and we'll follow up to see if Dante can get us some support. In the interim, let's start going through the notes to see if we can find a weakness. This might take us, a couple days, but it's the kind of boring thing we can do in research. And I think we could use some time off other than confronting a bunch of horrors, which we've done for several days now.
Fair.
All right. So research notes for weakness of this progenitor creature.
Yep. And I was going to
Okay.
suggest that if you wanted some more time to think about that, this might be a good point to wrap up.
I definitely agree. So this is probably going to be a good point for it because we have a lot of directions we can go, and I definitely want to ask which one you're going to go on first here.
Because
Because I've been holding on to Willow Springs for a while. I'm going to say that.
Before we wrap up, is there any chance I could start some of my steps?
You know what? Yeah, absolutely. Let's go for it. What are you thinking of?
Because I'm just assuming that we're just going to skip over all the middle stuff in between since we're rushing to wrap up here. So
Right.
just-
The rest practice isn't going to be out of the ordinary here.
right, and I'm not going to get into Timothy today. I'm just saying that. So I guess I want to get some film,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to put Osborne's picture on the film. I've seen Osborne multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
Then I want to get that developed, and then I want to put her picture on flyers, and I want to put those flyers up around the city.
Okay, that is very easy to set up. You have Emmett, you have the power to do that, and you have the photography set
wait.
over at Claudio's.
Flyers that would say what?
I want to lure her to my theater.
So you would say if you've seen this woman, report her to Dante?
That's the part I'm sticking on right now. Is I don't know the words I want to put on there. I don't want like everybody and their mother showing up at my theater saying, "Yeah, I saw this old lady." It looks like I want someone.
Well,
I want to lure her in.
well, here's
And
the
the
thing.
other,
I'll give you some time to think about what words you want,
And
but we'll go ahead and
additionally-
make it happen for now.
And additionally,
Yeah.
that's what I was going to use my entourage for. I was going to give them the flyers so that they can spread out across the city to pick them up.
oh man, I
Right.
wish you'd asked me because, like, the entire problem I have with this plan is, she's a professional arsonist, right?
You know how many times my theater's almost been burned down?
Yes, but she's a professional arsonist. She might actually succeed.
Well, I'll deal with that when it comes, but I'll be there. I'm not like laying an ambush for her. I'm not inviting you all to be there at all hours of the day because you don't know when she's going to show up.
Right, but Dante is still basically doing this plan on his own initiative. So, I think the only step of this you need to cover is the thoughtography part of it.
Which I can just roll right now. So literally, it's the
Yep,
moment
so
I
let's
get
go ahead and see
filmed.
the roll. Yeah, and one of the other players can go ahead and get it produced. And I think everyone has at least 2 dice for that, so that's easy enough. This is going to be a road action here. That's 3 successes. That's enough for thoughtography, right?
That's enough for Thoughtography 3. I mean, I don't need to pull it from my subconscious. I'm not not trying to put a Lost Ones image on a flyer, so 4 successes.
Yeah,
should be
exactly.
enough.
She's an ordinary person.
Yeah, so I would get an image of her in her suit when she was dressed up as Mr. Wonderful's secretary.
Oh, I have to ask. At what point are you getting this image of her? Like when did you see her when she was
That's
going
what I'm
down the
saying.
stairs, or like when she's pouting in the corner?
When
What
she was,
what are you
when
gonna
she
do?
was, no, I'm saying when she was in the factory, dressed up as Mr. Wonderful's secretary, when she just first came out of that room. Because remember, I saw her
Okay.
when I was disguised as one of her workers. So I saw her before she was threatened or pressed for any matter. She was literally just talking to Mr. Wonderful about anything.
Right, just relaxed. Got it. All right, that is simple enough to do. You will have the negative. Your friends can easily produce it for you, and Emmett is more than happy to help you set up these flyers. And your crew can set them out around town. There's a lot of flyers going around town right now, but you can find a place for them.
Bro, I mean, the idea is that when you would plaster flyers over top of other flyers. So it's not really a
Right.
problem.
Workers' rights, who needs those? Find this person.
Well, I mean, they cover a wall with flyers, and then you, plaster over it with your own flyers.
Right. But I guess the main thing I'm saying is none of the parts of this plan are difficult, and you can easily pull them off. Congratulations. You will have those flyers, and we'll figure out what they say whenever you're ready. So I think we could go ahead and say that's a wrap for today then, I think.
Unless we want to gather some people together and try a 3-person circle to bless the knife.
Actually, that's a good point too.
Yeah.
Do you want to go ahead and just do that right now? Wrap it up?
Yeah, that might not be a bad idea. Because
Okay.
I can't get 5 successes on a ritual by myself. I would need to do the
Yeah, you only need 2 other people who believe in magic. I'm willing to show up.
yeah.
Edmund, or do you believe in magic, or James?
You believe the dead?
So you get a crate round of picked up, that's all.
Yeah. So I guess it does sound like that you do have enough people for it.
Okay, give me 1 second. It's mine.
I believe in this spell. I punched a vampire.
Yeah, you get Zack, you get Grimace, and you get the hamburger.
But how do you know you just weren't really good at punching?
Mind will academics. Okay. So
I'm determined, not an egomaniac.
One, two.
okay, hold on. So and then there's power dice. Oof.
Good thing it's the end
Well,
of the
I guess-
session.
I guess I'll go ahead and masterful cast it here. I'll go ahead and tap Reckoning so I can boost that back up to a D6.
Well, I mean, okay.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
There we go. 4. So there's 4 successes. So that's enough to get it blessed.
You didn't have to tap Reckoning though.
Yeah.
You could have just cast it with a D4.
Yeah, I could have just cast it with a D4, but it's like I'm going to get a rest before we do anything else. Anyway, so it doesn't
Never
really
risk it,
matter.
man. Never risk it. That's what happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Griff could come back next week and hit us with an immediate scene. You never know.
I was
Reckoning
honestly
Soak-
thinking about it.
Reckoning Soak doesn't recharge once a rest; it recharges once an episode.
Oh, hey, there you go then. And this episode's at its end, so it's
Yeah.
good enough.
Yep.
So yeah, only 4 for the seance then. Okay, cool, easy enough.
Yep. So it's a 5 success. It's a 5th circle, but we're doing a 3rd circle, so or 3 people,
Mhm.
so it'd be 3 successes, and I got 4, so we're good.
Yeah. Okay.
So I now
So
have
it's a silvery dagger, and in fact, it even seems to have a strange rainbow-like gleam. It almost,
all right.
to Claudia, it almost seems like it's similar to that axe,
To the what?
to the axe that you got,
Oh,
the one you
yeah.
stole way back.
Yeah, I haven't used it yet because
It's on display.
I should. Well, and also I might actually bring it with us for this, but I don't know.
All right. Well, I think that goes ahead and calls it for here. So let's go ahead and hear the mottos. Dante.
Sorry, I was looking at something else. Always face the curtain with a bow.
Wonderful. Claudia.
Oh, there we go. Justice tempered by mercy.
James.
There's got to be a logical explanation.
Yep. Edmund.
On.
Oh, sorry. I forgot to do one mic thing. No matter how much you try to hide your dirty secret, I'll find it out, and I'll hope you got a good smile for tomorrow's.
All right. And Zechariah.
I won't let the people I love get hurt. Never again.
Excellent. All right. So, everyone's going to go ahead and get 1 point for the mottos, and they'll get 1 point for the debrief we're about to do. I don't believe we hit any other goals today.
Well, when I
But
was
you did
making
acquire new ones.
Timothy's sandwich, I did stop Osborne.
This is true. Osborne just so easy to stop. You just throw some toast, and she just crumbles over.
It's like you know he lured her out with toast, and then I cast paralysis on her.
No, he poured some orange juice and just called it real. That's all.
Told her.
I don't get it.
All right. So unless anyone has an interjection on that, you guys do have your brand new goal here. And I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, you can all have a new personal goal. And that should be fun.
Destroy the Earth.
Hey,
like,
power
hey,
to you. If you
it's
manage
like,
it, you'll get a gift before the campaign ends a second later.
I want the gift of being able to breathe in space.
It's like, hey, we get enough people together, and it's actually possible.
New gift, space baby.
Oh gosh. Let's see. Was there anything else I need to cover here? Anyone doing anything with their experience?
I'm just gonna voice Olmec.
So it doesn't seem like we have much business to handle then. So I'll go ahead and ask.
I just upgraded, so I'm dry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have the 2 experience from this session,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah,
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 have to
no.
make sure.
I have like 3 points left because last session I sold some gifts and increased both my mind and my will die to D10s.
I'll get
Yeah.
back to you on that.
So we're all good for now, which is a nice research session, I'd say. So I'm gonna ask, what did everyone think today? Was it good? Was it terrible? Did you like Timmy?
Tim life.
I
Timmy likes what you think. Likes what you think.
Yeah, we already know you can read minus 1.
It's like Zechariah is trying so hard not to be a bad influence on that child.
I am enjoying the game so far. I like the fact there were stakes. I really thought Dante was going to die.
I mean, there was that
might
chance
die.
in that hallway that I really could have. I've already tapped
know.
all of my soaks. I have only the personality fallback on. I just got lucky that the personality came out 12.
Yeah. The battle was really, really an expenditure of every single resource every single person in that room had. And everyone got away except for the important one.
And the thing I like to point out is, and there was only one fatality, and it was the freaking well, sorry, 2 fatalities. There was the monster, but there's also the freaking vampire. Like all 6 cultists are still alive. Which I mean,
Which
that's
is a wonderful note.
Like, right, and I've said that's been a pet peeve of mine in horror games, which is where, you know, you leave a huge body count behind, and it's like, no, these guys mean something, and it was a big punch up, and it meant something, but at the end of it, we were almost exhausted and had to run. And then we got to do all kinds of neat skullduggery things of going on our little missions. Like I always say, I appreciate that it feels like a living, breathing world that, you know, things make some sense. And that there's some sense of risks. So
I mean,
I'm having fun.
Of the
professor
3,
gets information.
Of the 3 cults that we have experienced with, we've only killed like 4 members total across 20 episodes now. I don't know how many episodes we're in, but
this is session 20.
yeah. So I'm saying, we've only killed 4 cult members of the dozens of them that we've met. And I mean,
but we're still getting lots of fights, and it's awesome.
Right. I just mean like the 2 that tried to burn down the theater before that died. The 1 that we just recently killed that tried to burn down the theater, and then I think what was it 2 in the subterranean network in Willow Springs that you guys killed?
1, and they left the other one to kind of question everything.
Right, so 4. And 2 of them were from this cult, and 2 of them were from a different cult, and I guess we didn't kill any from the 3rd cult.
2 of the people from the cult of Boonark were dead in front of you when their leader killed them.
Okay, so
I guess that counts. That's Sante's kill count there.
No, I didn't.
Actually, most of these are Dante's kills too.
What I mean is, I'm comparing this to other games where we would just show up with guns blazing and just shoot a bunch of people. But
right, there'd be 100 dead now, and all of them don't matter.
In fact, it's making me feel like the old pulp adventures, where it's not that we necessarily have a code against killing; it's that we're not merciless killers, and we can often solve our problems with violence, but not necessarily with choking the rivers with the dead. I don't know. I'm just having fun.
I mean, Dante doesn't want to kill people.
And I'd like to say I did have some a little bit of fun trying to, like, on the cuff describe how Martin is trying to solve his problems without resorting to terrifying murder outright. And juxtaposing that with the cultists who want to just kill you with knives and guns.
I mean, Martin's a terrorist, so... He's already set up bombs in places before, and apparently he's doing it again. You already implied that to me when I was trying to find him.
Terrorist, man of the people, what's the difference?
Well, you called him a terrorist before.
Yes, people will have perspectives.
When I was trying to find him, you implied that he was a terrorist. So...
What I don't remember that scene. Right down.
Last time I was asking you where Martin was and if I could find him. You said, well, he was bombing places and such, so.
Oh, yeah, that was me joking about that, yeah.
Well, you're the voice of God, so you can't joke about these things because all I have is to keep them.
I'm sorry if you remember my flippant points. I'll try to be more serious. Try. But yeah. Let's see. Oh, I suppose a question that I meant to put to everyone was, what is the next path that you guys are going to take? Willow Spring has been sitting there for a while.
It's on the
Do you
list.
intend to go
Until
after
we
that
know
next?
how to defeat the creature that's under it, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, it's like I would assume we're probably looking for the temple next.
Right, but you can put that on the list and still keep the entity on there.
Well, you do have a number of things pointing to different places, I think. But
They're all intertwined, though. Or not intertwined, but they're all connected loosely.
mhm.
Mhm.
The people that have dealing with the entity under Willow Springs are the same people with the hidden temple. So you don't want to abandon one and have the other one tied to it anyway.
That's fair.
And since there's no limit to the number of goals, it's just what goal you're focusing on. But again,
Right, it's just something for you guys to remember for now, I suppose.
But again, if the entity is tied to the temple, or the temple is tied to the entity, or they're just loosely associated by the same group, then if you were going to not focus on anything, you'd want to not focus on Osborne because she's not associated with the other two goals that you have. At the same time, obviously, I'm not going to do that because I just told you guys that I'm trying to lure her out.
Right. So, at least by the sound of it, it sounds like everyone is excited to try to find this hidden temple. So I'm going to focus on that and having that prepared.
Alrighty.
All right.
And my boyfriend has already scooted off here for the night, I think.
Oh, well, that's a
Yeah.
shame. It'd be nice if he would stay, but, well,
Yeah.
let's go ahead and wrap it up between us. Does anyone have any more sort of comments, concerns, thoughts, plans, things that they want to see, et cetera, notes and stuff like that?
Nothing off the top of my head.
Not really.
Find it interesting how like we can have one session be a lot of like action and fighting, and then like the next it's just sort of everybody going about their personal business.
Right. There comes a point where the action lowers down, the tension is a little lower, and it's allowed to rise again, rather than just saying perpetually, you're always fighting for your life.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, 'cause the problem is that Dante has a business, a social life, and just a regular life. He has to fit in the gunfights between everything else.
Which I find hilarious and is great. Meanwhile, we have a someone rich who can go and do whatever they want, a student who just quit studying, someone who's self-employed as a debunker, which gives them plenty of time, and a freelance reporter who just turns in stuff whenever they can. And if they turn in something every month, maybe they have enough money.
Mm-hmm.
So Dante's the only one with a real job, which is hilarious.
And a schedule. I gotta pick up
And
Timothy at this time. I gotta drop off Timothy at this time. I've gotta be at that theater at this time. I gotta be at my theater at this time. I gotta remember which days of the week I gotta be at these theaters. Then if I have my own personal plans, I've got to fit those in and then make sure that doesn't conflict with the schedules of the group when they try to do stuff. And it's like it's already conflicting now.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm sorry, I can't go fight the super dimensional creature. I have rehearsals today.
Dante, we need your help. I need a babysitter. I still love that.
I'm sorry, man. I planned this trickery out a month in advance. It's not my fault, but the super dimensional creature and the cult organization behind it have decided to make their moves today. Look, man, I have to have a babysitter. I can't go fight the vampire lord of Tricoga University today and his axe-wielding sidekick horror movie trope.
It's it's like a reverse parody of like teenagers in high school with superpowers or something. It's like, I can't go and fight evil. I have the test today. Instead, with Dante, it's like, I gotta make a sandwich.
Look, Timothy
I
has
love
to,
it.
Timothy has to show that he has a good home life with somebody that cares about him, and not someone that's going to disappear every time something strange is going on. A committed adult with adult responsibilities.
Mm-hmm. All right then. I have like one more thing in my head that I just keep slipping, and I can't remember what it was supposed to be. Dang it. Oh well, I mean, I guess that's good enough then. Oh right. When all of you have decided what your personal goal is, just go ahead and put it in the text chat so that I can go ahead and keep track of it for me. All right. That'd just be convenient for me. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up then. I like to thank everyone for being here, for doing their parts, and making this fun. Adopt
Yeah,
Timothy.
thanks. It's a lot of fun.
All right, and I'll catch you guys next time.